Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and today I'm going to show you the second part of my decluttering series. We are continuing with face products and today we are going to declutter my highlighters, bronzers and blushes. And I know that I want to get rid of some of them. Here we have everything that I want to go through today, and here's the box where I declutter my things to, and here in this box are going the things that I'm going to keep. So I would say I'm going to organize it a bit different now because I want to go through the products by category. We're starting with highlighters and I placed a big order at ColourPop's website for Black Friday, but it just arrived a few days ago, so I haven't had the chance to try these products out. And I ordered 4 highlighters because I discovered my favorite highlighter formula, and it's the Super Shock highlighter formula from ColourPop, and so I decided to get a few more colors that I would like to have in my collection, and I ordered this one here. It's in the color Spoon and I haven't really tried it yet, so I'm going to keep this one, and I think it's a very nice, very fair champagne color, and it has a bit of glitter in it, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but it's okay for now, and I really want to try it out. I think it's a very nice one, very natural looking one, and I'm really happy that I have it, and yes, I can't wait to start wearing it. Then next is this highlighter. It's from the Disney collection and it's in the color Coronation, and it's looking like this. And what I have noticed so far is that it's just too dark for me. I thought that I could use it as a shimmery blush, but it's too shimmery for that, and it's also too light for that, so it has kind of a peachy color and it's not working as a highlighter and it's not working as a blush for me. So I have had an idea what to do with this one because the packaging is so beautiful. It has a mirror in it, and then it has this beautiful print on it, and I really love this compact, and I think I want to create my own blush, and maybe I'm going to film it. If you want to see it, please let me know down below because I have an idea of what to do. I have some single blushes, I'm going to show them to you later, and I think it would be cool to mix them all together and repress it into this pen, and then have a nice little shimmery blush in this compact, which I really would like to have. So I'm going to keep it and I'm going to try that, and please let me know down below in the comments, and I would really be happy to film it for you. So this one is going to stay. Then next are these 2 highlighters from the Disney Villains collection. They are in the color Maleficent and Ursula. I have 2 other ones of this collection and I love them, so I thought I would like to get more colors, and so far I like them. Maleficent is a bit more golden and a bit darker than I thought, and Ursula is a beautiful lilac color, so I like both of them, and I think I can make Maleficent work for me, and I'm going to keep both of them. Then let's continue with my other ColourPop highlighter. This one is from the Disney Designer collection and it's in the color Part of Your World, and it's a beautiful, very light pink color, and I think it's not the most impactful, but I really like highlighters that are not too strong and that are a bit more subtle, and I think this one is very pretty and I'm going to keep it. So next is this one. It's in the color Flexitarian. You may know this one because it's so popular here on YouTube, and it has a really beautiful champagne color, and I really like this one. It's a very blinding highlighter, so I'm not using it every day, but I like it for special occasions or just when I'm in the mood for a very blinding highlighter, so I really like it for that. And it's a beautiful, very light color. It's a very light champagne color and it's perfect for my skin tone, so I really like this one and I'm going to keep it. Next is another Super Shock highlighter from ColourPop. It's again from the Villains collection and it's in the color Everybody's Got a Weakness. It's the Hades one. It has a beautiful peachy, pinky and golden duochromeness to it. It has a beautiful color and I thought that I could never make this color work on my fair skin, but it's melting in so perfectly with my skin tone that it looks so natural and so beautiful. And it's definitely my most used and my favorite highlighter. Out of all of these in my collection, the Super Shock highlighter formula is my absolute favorite, and I'm going to continue using this one. It has a pretty decent dent in it. I'm not sure if you can see it, maybe. And I really love this one. I think that Angelica Nyquist has recommended this one so much, and then I thought, well, I just have to try it. I don't know if I can make it work. I mean the color, because I really wasn't sure, but I'm so glad that I did, and I think it's also one of her favorite highlighters, and I absolutely understand why now. So it's a beautiful one, I love it, and I'm going to keep it. Next we have the Cruella highlighter. It's also from the Villains collection, and I like this one a lot, but it's more on the glittery side. So if you're thinking about trying one of these out, this one is very glittery. They're all a bit different in formula, I would say. Well, they're all Super Shock highlighters, so it's typical Super Shock highlighter formula, but some of them are more opaque, some of them are more sheer. This one here is more on the sheerer side, and it has a very strong duochrome shift. It's shifting from, I would say, a very light pale white or maybe a bit vanilla color to a peach, and it's a beautiful shift. I love the shift of it and I love the tone of it, but it has a lot of glitter in it, so if you don't like glittery highlighters, this one is not the right one for you. I'm not using this one a lot, but I love to use it in the evening when I'm just playing with my makeup, because I love the glitter in it and I love the duochrome shift, so I really like this one and I'm going to keep it. Next I have this little face palette from Hourglass. It has 3 different powders inside of it. 2 of them are from the Ambient Lighting series, and I think it's Dim Light and Radiant Light, and in the middle it's a highlighting color, and it's the color Incandescent Light, and I really love this little palette. The color Radiant Light is a bit too dark for me and a bit too warm, but Dim Light is what a lot of people use as a finishing powder, I would say, but it's too dark for me. I have my powder in the color Ethereal Light. That's way lighter than Dim Light. So Dim Light is almost the perfect bronzer shade for me. It's just a bit too warm, but when I mix all 3 of them together, I get a beautiful bronzer color, a very shimmery and a very radiant bronzer, and I love it for that reason. I'm definitely going to keep this little palette. Next I have this little trio by Benefit. It's the Cheek Leader Mini Bronze Squad, and here you can see what it looks on the inside. In the middle you have the Cookie Highlighter. Jaclyn Hill has been raving about this highlighter, so I wanted to try it out and I swatched it in store and I loved it, and at that time you could only buy this highlighter in this little palette, and to be honest, I don't like the Cookie highlighter. It's a bit too powdery and it's emphasizing the texture on my skin so bad, and it's also just too strong, and if I want to wear a very strong highlighter, I'm reaching for Flexitarian by Colourpop. I like it way more. This one is a bit more on the golden side, just a tiny bit, and Flexitarian is just more on the silver side, so it's better for my skin tone. I wouldn't keep this palette for the highlighter, and the bronzer is in the color Hula, which is way too dark and way too warm for me, so I wouldn't keep it for the bronzer either. But I love the blush in here. It's in the color Gold Rush, and it's a very sheer and very light shimmery rosy color, and I love this blush. And you will see later that I don't have a lot of blushes, and so that I like this one so much, I think is a reason to keep this palette, because I don't want to get rid of this palette and then repurchase only this blush. Maybe I'm going to do this in the future someday, but not for now, because I don't want to repurchase anything now. And so I'm keeping this palette because I have it, and I have this blush in here, and I'm going to use this one. And I think it's also not a bad thing to have the Cookie highlighter just for maybe some comparison swatches in the future, so it's nice to have it on hand to swatch some things. And also the Hula bronzer, because when someone recommends anything and they compare it to one of these, then that would be a good reference for me too. So I'm going to keep this little palette and I'm going to continue using the blush in here. Next we have the Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter in the color Gold Rose, and I don't like this one. It's a powder highlighter and I discovered that I can't use them on my face and I don't like the look of them, and this one is also too dark. I don't know why I bought it. In the store it looked a bit different, you know how it is sometimes, so I'm going to get rid of this one. This one here is the Essence Pure Nude highlighter, and this one is very subtle and it's giving my cheeks just a natural glow, and I like it for that. So the formula is really good on this, but it's a bit too dark for me, so I thought I might start using it as a finishing powder instead, because I would love to have a glowy powder to finish up my makeup. And I think I'm going to use it for this, and I'm trying it out, and if it's not working then I will pass this one on to someone else, but for now it's going to stay. Next we have this Makeup Revolution highlighter, Goddess of Love, and it's in this beautiful little heart-shaped box. This one is a very blinding highlighter and it's emphasizing my texture so much that I really can't use it, and I also don't like the sheen on it. It's a bit too powdery for me. It's a beautiful color, but I can't make this formula work on me, so I'm going to get rid of this one. Next I have this Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighter in the color Blossom Glow. This one is a very strong and very blinding highlighter, and it is a bit of a duochrome, I would say. It's more of a pinky, peachy, champagne-y color, and it's okay, but as I mentioned, I don't like powder highlighters, so I'm going to get rid of this one because it's also emphasizing my texture and I don't want that, so I'm going to declutter this one. This one is the NYX Away We Glow liquid highlighter, and it's in the color Moonbeam. I think it's their lightest one, and it has a nice rosy color, and I don't use liquid highlighters a lot, but if I do, I'm reaching for this one. I just have to make sure that I'm pretty fast at working with this one, because otherwise it would dry and it would leave a stripe on my cheek, and I don't want that look. So I would say it's a nice one. You just have to be careful when you're working with this one, but I'm going to keep this one. Then next I have the NYX Born to Glow Liquid Illuminator, and you can use it as a primer or as a liquid highlighter. And what I use it for is that I mix it with foundations that are too heavy for me or too thick in consistency or just have too much coverage and I want to lighten them up a bit. Then I mix this one with them, and for that I'm going to keep it, but I think I wouldn't be repurchasing this one because I just use it so little, and if I wouldn't have it, it would be also okay, but I'm going to use this one up because it's just a mini, and yes, I think I will go through this. So these are all the highlighters that I'm going to keep. Back here are all my Disney Villains highlighters and the new one that I want to mix with a blush and create my own blush with, and my Super Shock highlighters, and here are my two face palettes and the liquid ones and the one from Essence, and I think I'm really good with this collection. I don't need any more now, so I really have to stop buying new ones. I really wanted to stock up on the colors that I would like to wear on a daily basis and that I like to wear the most, but I think I have everything now and I don't need another highlighter, so I'm going to not purchase a new one in the next months. And I'm really happy with what I have now, and I think I have every color that I could ever need, and I have all of them in my favorite formula, so what else could I ask for? So I'm really happy with my little collection. So now we are coming to my blushes, and I have to say at first that I'm not really a big fan of blushes. I'm not a blush person. I like to wear bronzers more than blushes, and a lot of the times I skip blush and I only wear bronzer and highlighter, so that's why I don't have a lot of them, but I do like to wear them from time to time, so I want to have some nice blushes in my collection, and I think I do have them. So this one is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Blush in the color Rose Champagne, and this one is a very light pink color and it has a bit of a golden sheen to it, so it's very pretty, and I don't like matte blushes, I have to say, and I also don't like matte bronzes that much, but bronzes are okay in a matte finish, but blushes are not for me. So I really would like to have more glowy blushes, and this one is a very nice color for me, and I also like the formula of it, so I'm going to keep this one, and I really like it. Next I have this little guy from CREASE. It's the strobing blush in the color Mrs. Summer Peach. It has some different tones in it, and normally I'm going to combine all of them. Sometimes I feel like it has a bit too much of a sheen for me, and also sometimes I feel like it's a bit too peachy for me, so I don't use it very often, but I like to use it sometimes, so I'm going to keep this one. Next I have these three single blushes, and these two are from Makeup Geek, and this one is in the color XOXO, and this one is the color Spellbound. This one here I depotted from a Benefit palette one day. It was one of their limited editions, and I think it's in the color Dandelion or Dallas or something like that. I don't know anymore because it doesn't have a name on it on the back, and I really can't remember what it was, but it's the one that's something in between a blush and a bronzer. I don't know, it's really not good looking on my skin. I can't really use this color, and also I don't like these two because I never reach for them because they are in one of my set palettes together with some single eyeshadows, and I don't like either of these colors a lot, and they are very pigmented. So if you like pigmented blushes, I can highly recommend these from Makeup Geek, but for me, as a not really blush user, I don't like to use very pigmented blushes because I have such a fair skin and every color shows up so much, and very strongly pigmented blushes just don't work on me. So I think I'm going to get rid of all of these three, and what I'm going to do is these are the three that I'm going to combine and create my own blush color together with the highlighter from ColourPop. So if my little experiment doesn't work, I'm going to declutter all three of them. So I'm just keeping them for this little project I have, and I would love to share it with you. So please don't forget to leave a comment down below if you want to see that. And for now I'm going to keep them, but I will be decluttering them very soon. So as you have seen, I'm going to keep all my blushes for now, but I'm going to declutter D3 and I'm going to keep D3. So I think with these three blushes I'm good. I've ordered a cream blush from ColourPop and it will be here I think in the next week, and I can't wait to try it because I think maybe it's like with highlighters that cream products work better on my skin, because I have such a hard time with blushes a lot of the time because they are so, I feel like they are always rubbing off my foundation underneath, and I have so much redness in my skin that I don't want to emphasize it anymore. So that's why I often don't want to reach for a blush, but maybe in a cream form it's better working with my skin in general. So I'm very curious to know. I ordered one of ColourPop's blush sticks and I can't wait to try it. And let me know down below if you want to hear more about it, if it works for me or not, because I would love to update you on that topic. So these are all my blushes, and now we're going to continue with bronzers. Now here are all my bronzers, and I have to say that bronzers are a bit harder to find for me because I have such a fair skin tone and I have a cool undertone, so every bronzer is too warm for me. Basically every bronzer that is out there is too warm for me. Even the ones that are the best for me in my collection that I have found, they are still a bit too warm for me. So I would love to find the perfect bronzer shade, but I haven't yet. But I have some really good ones and some ones that I really like, and starting off with my favorite bronzer at the moment. This one here is the City Bronzer by Maybelline and it's in the color Light Cool 100. I believe it's the lightest shade and it's the one for cool tone people, but I have to say it's still a bit too warm for me, but it works the best out of all the bronzers that I have, and it's blending out so easily. It has a beautiful formula. I love the formula on this, and even if it's matte, I would prefer a bronzer with a more natural finish, but this one is blending out so nicely. It sits so well on my skin, and although it's a bit too warm for me, I really like it and it's the best I have in my collection. So I love this one. I just bought it at the end of November. I heard so many people rave about this on YouTube, especially Taylor Wynn, former Talia, and she has also very fair skin, so I thought I might try it out, and it's a beautiful bronzer. I really love it and I'm going to keep it. Next is the Makeup Revolution Bronzer Reloaded in the color Holiday Romance. It's the lightest shade and it's just a bit too warm for me. So I picked up the coolest shade that they had, but it's still too warm for me. And I would say it's light enough and it has a beautiful sheen to it, so I really like the formula. It's just a bit too warm, but sometimes I like a bit of a warmer bronzer, not very often, but sometimes, so I'm going to keep this one because it's light enough and it has a beautiful formula and I'm going to keep it. Next I have this one from NYX. It's from their Sweet Cheeks collection and there are a lot of blushes in this collection, and this one in the color So Taupe, and it's a very grayish tone, and I thought maybe I go a bit more gray because then it matches better with my skin tone, but this one is way too dark for me, and also the formula is just too pigmented to blend it out seamlessly on my fair skin, and it's too dark and it's too gray. I couldn't really see it in store because they haven't had the best lighting there, and so I picked it up and it's just too dark and just too gray, and I'm going to declutter this one. Next I have the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the color Light Bronze, and this one is their lightest shade and it's still too dark for me and it's also too warm, so I think I can make it work. It has a beautiful sheen. I love the formula, I love the finish of it. It's so beautiful, and I also love the smell of it. It's smelling like coconuts and it has a really strong scent, and you really have to like the scent to use it, but I love the scent and I use it for the scent and also for the finish. So I think I can make this somehow work in summer but not in winter, so I'm not using it at the moment, but I will continue using it in summertime. And I have a pretty decent dent in this one. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I really love to use this bronzer before discovering the one from Maybelline and from Makeup Revolution, so I'm not sure how much I will use this now, but I'm going to keep it and find out, and maybe I declutter it in the future, but for now it's definitely going to stay. And I really wish that Physicians Formula would bring out this bronzer in a lighter and more cool tone color, then it would be my ultimate favorite bronzer. So this one is the Contour Duo by Kat Von D, and these two shades are part of the Big Shade and Light Contour palette by Kat Von D, and I thought the contour shade would really work on my skin, and it's okay, but to be honest, it's not the best I could use on my skin because it's still a bit too warm, and I don't know, maybe it's just too pigmented because it's not so easy to blend it out on my skin, and I'm not the biggest fan of this one, but I think I'm going to keep it because I have so much left and I can use it as a contour, and from time to time I want to contour, and this is the only contour shade that I have, so I'm going to keep this one, but yes, it's just okay. Now here's everything that I'm keeping and here's everything that I'm decluttering, and as you can see I'm only getting rid of 3 highlighters and 1 contour, and that's because I don't have that much in these categories, I would say. It's enough for me, I don't need anything more, but I don't want to get rid of things that I'm going to use. So I think I really like my collection. I think I have a bit too much highlighters, but I have to try out the new ones and then see which one is working for me and which not, and what I'm using the most. Now that I have so many in the formula that I like the most, I really have to see which colors are working best on me and which ones I tend to gravitate to. And maybe I'm going to get rid of some of them in half a year or in a year, but for now I'm going to keep all of them, and I'm really happy with my little collection. And I'm really happy that I have found some bronzers that work on me and some blushes, and so I'm really happy with all of these, and I can't wait to mix the blushes and the highlighter and create my own sparkly little blush, and I really hope that it works out. I'm not sure yet, but well, I have to try it out. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video and that you like my little declutter series. And next we are going to declutter my lipsticks because I changed my mind about everything in the last years. So I discovered liquid lipsticks for me, and so I want to get rid of a lot of my bullet lipsticks, and it's time to declutter them. So I can't wait for the next video, and I hope you can't wait too. Thank you all so much for liking, for commenting, and for watching my videos. It helps me out so much, and it's so, I don't know, it's bringing me so much joy to see what videos you like and to read your comments and to answering to your comments. So really, I really wanted to say thank you for that, and thank you all for watching, and I wish you all an amazing day.